My video for September the 5th, 2019, video number 3198, is entitled Dorian Brutalizes Bahamas, Fizzles in Florida. I've been to Freeport on Grand Bahama Island, so the videos of the devastation on that island brought tears to my eyes. On one, a lady was crying out to Jesus for help. Many were crying out here in Florida as well. For us in Central Florida, it seemed as if we dodged a bullet. Yes, my prayers of relief mingled with many others as Hurricane Dorian continues on its north and northeast track. I cannot help but wonder why some of our prayers seem to be ignored, while others seem to be answered. Seem is probably the proper word in this and many other cases where we cry out for signs that there really is a living God who actually cares and responds. A few prayers do seem to be answered favorably, while others seem to be simply disregarded. Is there a determining factor? If so, what is it? Religion does not seem to have valid answers, just a wide array of conflicting beliefs and points of view. Some get upset with me when I keep on saying that our Creator needs to show responsibility. Sometimes faith, hope, and love seem to be in very short supply. Where's the RV and humanitarian funding? I threw that last question in after I had written the blurb and was almost ready to go, and I thought, I'm going to say something about the RV too, because while I have projects that I've prepared should I ever receive funding for my one Zim bond, I would love to help rebuild at least the Grand Bahama Island and provide funding for these people to build homes that are able to withstand hurricanes. But even more than that, I'd like to see if we really do control the weather, as some have suggested, how can we stop the devastation when and if we have the ability to seed storms so that they are virtually eradicated? You know, there are lots of questions. And the biggest one for me is, where's the loving God? As I've said in other videos, I have friends who were very much involved in the church, various denominations, but the church. And because of things that happened in their personal lives, because prayers were not answered, they no longer have faith. Some have become atheists, as I've said in probably quite a few other videos. While I look out my window, it's very cloudy still here in Central Florida, but we hardly even got any rain from what I can tell. And of course, we did not lose power. There was very little. It was just a storm, a thunderstorm, basically. I don't know if it was thundering and lightning or not, but it was just a storm. Rain did fall, but not a whole lot from what I can tell. I mean, I can't see the whole thing, and I haven't heard what other people experienced, but I can't tell. I was up till midnight, as I normally am. And at that time, I turned off all of my computers. And I mean, I don't usually turn them off. I usually just let them go to sleep, but I don't turn them on. I don't unpower them, just in case. I did that just in case, because while I have battery backup, that only lasts a short time. So I turned them, all three of my computers, I turned them completely off. But of course, I rebooted them all when I got up earlier this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. And here I am recording the video, and I actually turned on a TV and watched some of the news reports, and one of which was in the Bahamas, where it showed some of the horrible, horrible devastation on that island. And as I said, I've been on Freeport. I got engaged there. Of course, the engagement was broken later, but in any case, I've actually vacationed there for a short period of time, or went on I don't know if you call it a vacation. It was a cruise ship that went from down by, I was going to say Fort Pierce, but further south even than that, where Trump lived, where the Trump Towers are, West Palm Beach. Yeah, I went from there over to the Grand Bahama Island, to Freeport. So I've walked on that land. I've stepped foot there, and I would love to be able to help rebuild that for the people that have survived that horrible storm. And that's one of the news reports said that's the third year in a row that area has been devastated by storms. 3 straight years hurricanes have devastated that island. Now, as I've said, on the Grand Bahama Island, on the eastern part of the island, I believe, there is a NOAA weather station. And as you know, the storm sat over those islands for a few days, virtually not moving, in a standstill position. Were they controlling that storm? If they were controlling it, and some say they wanted to take out a power station, an FPL power station, one lady told me that was the real target. But of course, it didn't do anything there either. What is true? I keep scratching my head. What is true? True is what happens. And there is no such thing as true what's going to happen, because it hasn't happened yet. And we're not even sure what is true when we are told things happened in the past, because liars often are the ones that tell the stories. So figuring out truth is a challenge, as I said in the previous video, and as I keep exploring that concept. Where's the love, God? Where are the answered prayers? Where can we see evidence that you are, in the present moments of our experience, willing to answer our prayers in a tangible way, not by faith, but by sight? We see the result of what we've asked for, and our hearts can be filled with joy. But so often, it's the exact opposite. We don't see a result of what we ask for. We see devastation, we see misery, we see loss, and we experience these things with sorrow. And criminals and people whose minds and souls have been totally distorted, that don't value life itself, or at least think that they have the right to damage others with impunity. Where's the love in all of this? If the RV became a reality, I would want to rebuild that island, as I said at the beginning. And I would want to reach out to people that are hurting. Haiti is one of the places that's on the top of my list to help rebuild Haiti, which is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. There are many things that I'd like to see happen that would change the human experience on planet Earth and restore our confidence that love is real and has meaning, and that it's backed up by a creator who's finally taken the wax out of his ears and the blinders off his eyes and is willing to take action. Thank you for listening, and namaste.